Great. So welcome everyone. Let's start the No Wallet 13's demo. All right. So you can see today's agenda. We are very excited to finally present you new proposal to Kusama Treasury today, as well as we are excited to share our current progress of the development MOVR and GLMR staking. We will also touch base on our roadmap and priorities today, as well as we will review the community requested features and what's going to happen now with them, since we kind of already filled the Kusama Treasury proposal. So let's begin. So while waiting for others to join, I would kindly remind you with our social media links, our website available on novwallet.io. And by the way, soon we're going to update it pretty much dramatically, because by the time we have created and posted it, we have developed so many features, so we would like to present them on the website as well. Join our Telegram groups, follow us on Twitter, join Element chat, as well as subscribe on the YouTube. And now let's proceed with reviewing the new proposal to Kusama Treasury. So after we have completed our previous Kusama Treasury proposal, we decided to compose and publish the new one for the discussions in the community. The version which we published is basically focused on the following features. We would like to implement support for the cold wallets, which means that we would like provide opportunity to connect your party signer or ledger with a no wallet, so that you can delegate the signing to your cold wallet device. While we will implement these features, I mean integration of party signer and the ledger, out of the box almost, we will have opportunity to add something called watch mode, which allow you to add the accounts or wallets to the no wallet, just providing address without revealing secret key, either by pairing with a cold wallet or by just injecting the mnemonic passphrase or any other type of representation. So you will just need to add the address and that would be it. The second point in our new proposal is basically cross-chain transfers. Here we would like to focus specifically on delivering cross-chain transfers between Polkadot and Kusama relay chains and their parachains, right? So we allocated the efforts and planned our resources for maintaining connection of existing parachains and some of the upcoming parachains as we go. The third point is basically governance. So there are some changes coming to the Kusama and Polkadot governance, and we would like to be one of the first applications which will support them, right? And overall, there is a sector of the user base which demanded the governance features for quite a while. And moreover, it's our goal to implement the convenient way to participate in the governance activities, because we would like to increase community participation in such. And of course, finally, the fourth point here is community selected features. I think we bootstrapped this process something like 1 month ago or so, right? We have been announcing that we are requesting the features from the community, asking what they would like to see in no wallet, how we should improve the no wallet based on the feedback. So we have collected some, and then we allocated certain budgets to implement such features and selected based on the popularity of such requests, based on simplicity, because we would like to satisfy as many users as we want. So like small features, it's basically a go-go solution for us. But also we have grabbed some of the most interesting and highly voted features from this selection. Right, so the proposal is currently available on Polka Assembly, so feel free to join and feel free to basically provide your feedback, tell us what you think, support us. So we would love to address your feedback there and receive the support, of course. Right, so there is also a full version of the proposal available by the link, right, which has more information about no wallet, as well as the context of why we selected certain features and how we formed this proposal. So feel free to check this out. And let's go back to our presentation. So here's on the slides the scope of our proposal. So I will not go like one by one, but yeah, just to remind you that we have 4 main teams, which are cold wallets, cross-chain transfers, governance, and community selected features. And basically you can see them on the screen, right? There are some differences in the scopes like watch mode, party signer, and the ledger. For example, in the ledger, we will be one of the first teams, or yeah, basically first team, which will implement the open source native SDKs for iOS and Android applications so that other apps can easily connect ledger integration with their devices, right? And we will also would like to focus on the design part of the cold wallets, because we need to now explain the user that there will be another option to add a wallet and account, and basically 3 options, right? So we need to revisit how now onboarding process and the wallet management process would look like, as well as how the signing process will look like, because now we will have the certain step, especially if the wallet is associated with a cold wallet, like a party signer ledger. So there should be nice representation for users so that they won't be lost, like animations and pictures. Right, for the cross-chain transfers, and that mentioned in the proposal, like a full document, but right now we're working with the Moonbeam team on implementing the cross-chain transfers between Moonbeam and other networks like Akala and Karura, right? But we would like to allocate certain amount of time to revisit our architecture and to implement the universal component, just like we did for adding new networks, adding new crowd loans and DApps, right? So that we can add new cross-chain transfers as soon as they will available in the ecosystem, right? Because you know that the cross-chain transfers basically enabled by the governance. So we would like to see no wallet enabling cross-chain transfers kind of in a similar way, if it's possible. If not, we would like to achieve at least a modular architecture for the cross-chain transfers, right? So that it would be easier for us to maintain the solution. And of course, the main priority for the cross-chain transfers covered by Kusama Treasury proposals would be the networks connected to the Polkadot and Kusama. So those connections, let's say, between Polkadot and Kusama and the parachains. As for governance, governance would be governance allocated in this treasury proposal would be our first iteration towards the governance, because it's pretty much the huge amount of work, especially if you would like to implement it in the right way, in a convenient way, saturated with certain like improvements for the user so they will understand what's going on in the governance. So we would like to allocate some time to both UX or user experience research. So how can we provide convenient governance to the users, right? And in addition, we would like to implement already some features like viewing proposals and referendums and voting for the proposals, right? So yeah, that would be the governance one. And for the community select features, so yeah, you can see the list of them on the screen, right? Top voted feature was returns date of the crowd-on contribution. So now it would be visible on your contribution screen when your reward will be send it back to you, right? Many of you know that recently, I think it was 15th of May, if I'm not mistaken, but already a big chunk of Kusama tokens were unlocked due to like ending of leasing period for the first parachains. So yeah, we would like to improve the user experience of this process so that users will have a better understanding when the tokens will go back to their wallets. Right. The second point here is basically viewing the wallet's total balance breakdown. So we would like to put this information on the main asset screen so that users can see the distribution of their value for the wallet, like how much value they have locked in the crowd loans, how much value they have locked into the staking, and so on. So kind of preview of their total amount for the wallet. View total contributed basically is information for like the sum of your contributed tokens, but that would be visible also on the crowd loans tab, because yeah, we can put it there and it would be nice to have there. Search for the tokens and networks on assets tab. That's actually coming to be a very demanded one, because we add new networks, we add new tokens every week, right? So this list on the assets tab is pretty huge right now. So it's getting harder to get to certain token on the screen, right? So we would like to approach that by adding this feature, which can easily allow you to search and find the certain network and the token. Easier transfers between the own wallet accounts means that basically we will return something called like you are sending tokens to your other wallet, right, or to your other account. And that would be our first step to something like a contact book management on the no wallet side, because we foresee that the contact book would be a necessary feature. Well, it's a nice feature, first of all, but also when we will start working on something like a multi-signature features, right? That would be a necessary one to have in the no wallet. And the last one here is basically to select a different currency to view a fiat value. So right now, no wallet shows you all the values in the USD, right? However, since we integrated with the CoinGecko, which was down, by the way, today for almost whole day. But yeah, the CoinGecko API is pretty powerful, and it allows you to pretty much easily select a currency in which you would like to see your value. So we would like to extend this functionality, provide the user interface to select one of the currencies. And yeah, we will see how we can also make it nice. So yes, that's a proposed scope of work for our second Kusama Treasury proposal. So once again, feel free to provide your feedback on Polka assembly. Let us know what should we add or what should we remove or what should we revisit in this proposal before we will publish it on chain. Right, and let's move towards MOVR and GLMR staking progress demo. So as we were covering on the last demo, part of our grant with the Moonbeam Foundation is basically to provide the MOVR and GLMR staking. Right now, by this moment, what we have available, done, and tested. We covered on the previous demo the features which allow you to see the MOVR and GLMR staking information, right? So you can see like how much tokens are allocated to the MOVR GLMR staking, what is minimal amount to stake, and so on. Also, we provided a demo for your staked balance and the status, right? And what we are going to show you today is basically to view your staking rewards history, right? View total staking rewards, like a sum up, as you can see on this mockup, right? Your rewards, and there is an amount. And also we will go through the whole process of initializing the staking or start staking flow, right? So that would be the context of today's demo. And what we left to implement for the next one, right, would be the stake more tokens, which will allow you to add more tokens for staking. The flow would be pretty much similar with the start staking flow, but there are some, validations which no wallet should understand how to handle. As well as the user should be able to unstake the tokens, right? View all collators or delegations and remove certain delegation or stop staking with a certain collator. So that would be it. We will see how it goes. We foresee that we should finish the MOVR GLMR staking in sometime June, right? And we would like to release it as a complete feature set. So we don't want to push existing version to the production, right? Because it would be not fair to provide the user interface without opportunity to unstake the tokens, for example, right? So we are not evil people. They should be able to manage their tokens properly, right? So we would like to complete all the features which we wanted, polish them in terms of the quality, and then roll everything out to the production. So that's our goal. And once again, June or next month is something what we are foreseeing too. Now let's switch to the Android device. And by the way, if you have any questions right now regarding the MOVR GLMR staking or Kusama Treasury proposal, feel free to add them in the chat. But as for the demo, you should see my Android device. Let me first get some MOVR or GLMR tokens, right? So yeah, before we start, I would like to also mention something interesting, what Moonbeam team has achieved by the previous weeks. So if you remember on our last demo, we covered our not unique method, but our advanced method to calculate the time, right, for the Moonbeam and Moonriver networks. And the time is really crucial for the user because users don't want to think in terms of the blocks production time of the block production, right? But they would like to operate with the time because it's something what they like to do. So something like unstaking period is very important to be represented precisely in the application. So that's why we have implemented this a way of providing precise information about unstaking period, because we don't want to lie to the users and provide false information saying just ideal time of unstaking, which is 2 days. We would like to show them real time of unstaking, which is 2 days and 11 hours. And if you remember correctly, on our last demo, it was something like, I believe, 3 days, 70 hours or something, or 3 days, 7 hours. So it was much higher than right now. And the reason for this is because a Moonbeam team provided optimizations for Moonbeam and Moonriver networks. So staking is now faster because the block production on the network improved dramatically. If I'm not mistaken, the block production now is on average 15 seconds instead of something like 20 seconds, which was before. So that's a huge improvement from their side. And overall, that should improve the user experience for the staking. Everything would be faster, like your staking will generate more rewards. There will be a less time to be waited for the unstaking. So that's a really great news from them. Now, going back to the functionality. So let's transfer some tokens on this account. So for that, we will go and get the Moonriver address. And then we will switch to another wallet to send our MOVR tokens. I will use just a paste button, which, yeah, a nice UX addition. And as many of you know, the minimal amount for stake in Moonriver network is 5 MOVR, but for the safety, we'll just transfer 10. Why not? Now we tap continue, send. And our transfer is sent. Let's switch back to our account where we would like to start staking. So let's wait for a couple of more seconds for transfer to be completed, right? Many of you know that parachains operate a bit slower, and we mentioned this, that the average block production is 15 seconds or so, right? So we would like to wait for some time, basically, for transfer to be done, especially if I'm not messed up with addresses. It will be a shame. But yeah, let's wait for a bit more for tokens to be arrived. So I see no questions in the chat. That's good. I wonder why the tokens didn't arrive. Maybe I indeed messed up with the address. Interesting. Recipient Nova, the transaction ID. Let's see in the subscan, did it went through? No, the transfer is still pending, so that's the reason. I was afraid that we have something wrong working. So yeah, let's wait for this block to be finalized, and we will see it probably by this icon. And as soon as it will be done, we will have the tokens to start staking. So let's go check another wallet. Yeah, the CoinGecko was not working. The Moonriver transfers was not really fast enough, right, for the demo. But yeah, we finally received our 10 MOVR tokens, so no worries here. Let's go back to staking. So yeah, we presented the estimated MOVR earnings, so I will not focus on that. Instead, let's proceed with the start staking flow. Now, what we see here, basically we're required to enter the collator, and we will get back here. We see how many tokens we have for staking, which is 13 something, right? We also see transferable rewards, sorry, because by default, and that's how Moonriver and Moonbeam staking works, you cannot, on the blockchain, compound your rewards or restake them automatically. The only option you have is that receive rewards, and those rewards would be available to be transferred. So those would be transferable rewards, right? We put here the maximum APR that exists in the network, right? And we show the minimal stake, the network fee. So let's go and select one of the collators available. So here we have the number of collators, which is 64 right now on the Moonriver. We can see all of them with their identity information, with their minimal stake required to receive rewards with those collators, as well as the rewards rates, which is APR, which is annual rewards, right? And we can see this 24 something percentages as we saw on the previous screen, right? So if you want to achieve this APR, feel free to select this collator. Now, you can also go to the details of certain collator and see their information in terms of like address, and you can hit here, copy, view in subscan, everything is available for you, right? As well as you can see the information about staking, like the status that this basically collator was elected, right? The delegators, so how many people stake with this collator, the total stake, and you can tap here to see the information, like how many MOVR tokens they allocated by themselves, how many delegators allocated, and the total. Minimal stake required to stake and receive rewards with this collator, and estimated rewards, right? For some of the collators, you will find the identity information like staked finance, which can be just a name like presented here, or in some cases, you can have the more information from their identity, like the name one more time, the email, the website. So you can click on here and that will redirect you to the collator's website, right? And basically the Twitter and other information which they desired to put to their identity. So that's nice. You can see the collator's information and that's already implemented, right? What else you can do? You can change the way how you see the information here, similar to how we do it in DOT and KSM staking. So you can go to the settings or filters, and you can select how you would like to sort all of the collators from the previous screen. So let's select the minimal stake. And now all the collators will be sorted by the minimal stake. It doesn't make really sense for the Moonriver network, but for Moonbeam network, it makes sense a lot because let's go back for a little and switch to the Moonbeam. And let's see what's going on the Moonbeam network, because that's extremely useful there. If we'll do that, you will see that the mean stake is actually varies by a lot on Moonbeam. So of course you can stake with the 50 glimmers with some of the collators, right? But for the most of the collators, you will need to have much more than that, like sometimes 10 times more, right? Or even 20 times more than minimum stake, which is 1,000 glimmers. So yeah, that's extremely useful for the Moonbeam network, right? But let's go for the Moonriver because we have some tokens to be staked there. Right. So let's enter here, select collator, and notice also that once you change the way how you sort the information here, you always see the rewards ratio, because rewards ratio is something what most of the delegators or people who would like to stake their tokens would be interested to see always, right? You can change the way how it's sorted, but you would like to always access the APR of certain collator, right? So you can switch to the total stake, and by the way, see the correlation of that one. So the higher total stake of the collator, the lesser the rewards, right? And also a collator's own stake, right? So you can see also the collator's own stake here, but you also see the APR of this collator. Now, you also have a quick button to clear the filters, which will bring you to the default of showing sorting by the APR or by the rewards, and the mean stake as a sub attribute for the collator. So yeah, let's select any of them. I don't know who should we support. Let's support Polka House, for example, right? You can enter any amount here, right? Yeah, let's do something like that. You see the network fee, you see the minimum stake, we are pretty good here. And we see the rewards APR now updated for this exact collator, right? So let's press continue. It seems that I don't have enough tokens. Yeah, sorry, I'm not really good today. Let's try to do something like that. Yeah, it seems it went through. And now we have a confirmation screen, which basically sums up our information for the stake, our wallet, our account, network fee, collator, and some meta information about staking, just for user to understand how it will work further, right? So the tokens in stake will produce rewards each round, which is basically 2 hours approximately. To unstake the tokens, you will need to wait for unstaking period, which is something like 2 days, 11 hours right now. And during unstaking period, tokens produce no rewards. After unstaking period, don't forget to redeem your tokens. So everything here is displayed before user starts the staking, right? Because it's important for them to understand the rules of the game, basically. So let's tap confirm here. So once we tap confirm here, we would like to to make sure that our operation will be completed before navigating user to the next screen. So instead of showing this screen and then changing its state, right, as soon as we will understand that everything went through and the staking is now available for this account, we would like to wait on the previous screen and then change to the main staking screen as soon as the information is finalized on the blockchain, right? And here we have a nice display of the time left before staking will be active. So it's something like 2 hours, right? And after that, user can have access to the stake more, unstake, and your collators features, right? Which we will present on the next demo. But now that's a huge achievement. Actually, MOVR is now capable of basically staking MOVR and GLMR tokens. What rest to be done is the management of this staking. So yeah, congratulations, everyone. Let's go back to our slides. And I would say that that's it for the MOVR staking progress and the demo. Let's see what we have else. Feature requests. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we are not kind of shut down the process of eliciting the feature requests from the community. We would like to continue this process, right? So if you have any features to be requested from your site, feel free to submit your request following on our Canny link. We're going to maintain this process as soon as we basically develop our application. We will see how it goes. So we're trying to experiment right now by injecting the community request to the Treasury proposal. We will see how counselors will react to this, and we will see how ourselves can maintain this process of implementing the community requested features at the same time as focusing on some larger chunks of work, like, for example, cold wallets integration. Right, so we would like to do both, basically, focusing on the current priority of the proposal, for example, cold wallets and the cross-chain transfers, and also allocating certain percentage of time to community requested features, just to make sure that all voices are heard, right, and we provide the updates and desirable features to the community. So yeah, feel free to post and review all the ideas on lowwallet.canny website. A roadmap. So current priorities right now is to, basically we published the new Kusama Treasury proposal. Discussion now in progress. We foresee that we will publish the proposal on chain for counselors to vote next week as soon as we gather more feedback, right? And if approved, then we will saturate our roadmap with all these features which we promised into the Kusama Treasury proposal. Of course, right now on our plate is executing the Moonbeam grant, which would be the completion of MOVR and GLMR staking. We are pretty close there, right? And also starting to implement the cross-chain transfers between Moonbeam and Moonriver networks, right? And other networks, I mean. We're also in the process of completing subquery grant. It's a multi-layer grant, but basically subquery allows us to connect to multiple blockchains in the ecosystem and index the data so that we can provide such features like rewards history, for example, for MOVR and GLMR tokens, which I totally forgot to show in the demo, but we will come back to it, right? And other nice features which user would like to see indexed from the blockchain. And we are also in the process of applying to multiple grants, so stay tuned for our announcements. Now, before finishing, and I'm very sorry in front of my team, but let me switch back to the Android device and show you something cool in addition to what I shown for the MOVR and GLMR staking. So I forgot to mention about the your rewards. That's something nice, and what user would like to see is basically how many tokens accumulated from the staking, right, in terms of the rewards. Now we have enabled this opportunity for them. So MOVR will show you all these rewards. Yes, as I mentioned, we're using subquery, our project which we implemented together with subquery team. And in addition to this, you will see something great in your assets history for GLMR and MOVR now. So if you will go to the Know Wallet on your production, which from like Google Play or App Store, you will see something like this, right? You have access only to the transfers and some other operations. But as soon as we will roll out the update with staking, that will allow you to see the whole your staking rewards history like you see right now on the screen. So now you will have access to all this data, when you received the reward, what was the amount of this reward, and so on. And of course, I would like to remind you that you always can filter this information. For example, turn off this just to get access to your transfers, or just complete the opposite, see all your staking rewards and nothing else. So that's also available and done. We are currently indexing all the information of Moonbeam and Moonriver network, but we pretty much sure that by the time we will release it to the production, so that it will be available on Google Play and App Store, we should be fine in terms of like synchronized data source for fetching the history and displaying it in Know Wallet. So yeah, I'm glad that we remembered about this. So yeah, I think that's it from our side. Thank you so much that you participated on this demo, and see you in 2 weeks. Don't forget to leave your feedback and support on our Polka assembly page for Kusama Treasury proposal. And yeah, have a nice one. Bye.